hearing, Board County Commissioners public hearing.
You need to, mic on, your mic on.
There we go. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Board of County Commissioners public hearing for December 15th, 2020. It's 4:26 in the afternoon. This public hearing is regarding Thurston County Code Chapters 15.12, or Chapter Water and Sewer Rates. If you'd like to join us via phone conference call, or if you make comment, the phone number is 252-9020, and the PIN number is 1234. I'm John Hutchings, the chair of the board. We also have Vice Chair Commissioner Ty Menser and Commissioner Gary Edwards in the boardroom, and we have County Manager Romero Chavez and the clerk of the board, Amy Davis, in the boardroom, and Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell is joining by Zoom. The purpose of this public hearing is to accept and consider testimony on the proposed updates to the Thurston County Code Chapter 15.12 regarding water and sewer rates for county utilities. This is a virtual public hearing. Those wishing to testify have joined by Zoom, email comment, or mailed comment. If you wish to testify, please visit the Thurston County homepage online and select Announcements of Public Hearings on the left-hand side. The information to join this public hearing remotely has been posted there. If you do not wish to testify but would like to listen and follow along, please watch the live stream through the Thurston County YouTube channel to help us manage attendance. Staff Zanab Najati, Water Resource Technical Services Manager, will provide information on this topic. And assuming those that wish to testify, your name will be read aloud, and you'll have 3 minutes to testify, and you may not donate your time to another person. Provided there is someone that wants to testify, your name will be called on, state your name and address for the record, and we will let you know when your time is expired. So let's see, right now, this public hearing is now open. And Zanab Najati will present the background information on the proposed written comments submitted and any additional information requested by the board. Hello, Zanab.
Hello. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Zanab Najati, Technical Services Manager. Public Works Water Resources Division is asking the Board of County Commissioners to consider updates to Thurston County Code, Section 15.12, regarding water and sewer rates for the county's utilities. These updates would allow the county to continue to collect water and sewer rates in 2021. Thurston County Code, the section of Thurston County Code sets water and sewer rates and provides for annual adjustments to the rates, charges, and fees for the county's water and sewer utilities. The current code provides rates for 2019 and 2020, and therefore must be updated for the county to continue to collect water and sewer rates and charges. In order to provide some relief to customers due to the impact of COVID-19, the code update as proposed to keep 2021 monthly base rates and consumption charges at the same rate as 2020. Equivalent service extension charges and additional capacity charges have been adjusted consistent with County Code Section 15.12.80, which states these charges shall be annually adjusted by the Construction Cost Index published by Engineering News Record, which for 2020 represents a 1.7% increase. As of 4:20 p.m., I have received no comments regarding this code update.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments?
No, I think this is going to be beneficial to all parties concerned. We're not raising the rates except for new construction. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Commissioner Menser?
Nothing.
Zainab, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. And so with that, we're going to open this up for public testimony. County Manager will see if there's anybody that is available to testify.
Yeah, I don't see anybody join us via Zoom. Let me check the conference call. Good afternoon. If you are joining us via conference call and you would like to provide public testimony related to the public hearing on water and sewer rates adjustments, please unmute yourself, state your name, when you reside in the county. You have 3 minutes. None, sir.
No, okay. Any discussion, Commissioners?
No, sir. We've studied this to death as well. So.
Okay, is there a motion to close this public hearing?
Move to close public hearing.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to close the public hearing. Discussion on that issue?
No, sir.
Nope. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. That public hearing is closed.
Thank you. We're going to pause for a second, but we're going to join another Zoom meeting.
Is this on speed limits?
You're going to ask Romero? Good afternoon and welcome to the Board of County Commissioners public hearing for Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. It's 4:32 in the afternoon. If you'd like to join us via phone to testify or just listen in, the phone number is 360-252-9020 and the PIN number is 1234. The topic of this public hearing is revisions to the speed limit schedule for various county roads. I'm John Hutchings, the chair of the board. Also present is Vice Chair Commissioner Ty Menser and Commissioner Gary Edwards. County Manager Romero Chavez is here, along with the clerk of the board, Amy Davis. And we have Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell on Zoom, and we also have staff on Zoom that we'll get to. The purpose of this public hearing is to accept and consider testimony on the proposed amendments to the speed limit schedule for various county roads, including setting or altering speed limits. This is a virtual public hearing. Those wishing to testify have joined by Zoom, emailed comments, or mailed comments. If you wish to testify, please visit the Thurston County homepage online and select announcements of public hearings on the left-hand side. The information to join this public hearing remotely has been posted there. If you do not wish to testify but would like to listen in or follow along, please watch the live stream through the Thurston County YouTube channel to help us manage attendance. Staff member Matt Unzelman, traffic engineer and operations manager, and Becky Kahn, civil engineer, will provide information on this topic. Assuming there's people that wish to testify on Zoom or on the phone, we will read your name. You'll have 3 minutes to testify, and your time may not be donated to another person. When you are called on, please state your name and where you live in the county, your address of record, and you'll be given 3 minutes. And again, you can't be donating time to another party, and we will let you know when your time has expired. So with that, this public hearing is now open. Matt and Becky will now present background information of the proposal, any written comments submitted, and any additional information requested by the board, and then we will move into public testimony. So Matt and/or Becky.
Good afternoon, commissioners. One of the key responsibilities that the traffic engineering group has in supporting the transportation system is evaluating the speed limits on county roads. This is probably one of the more frequent service requests, also one of the more controversial service requests that we receive. We receive these requests not only through our front office and through our website, but also from the Board of County Commissioners office. These requests are often conveyed from commissioner aides or the commissioners themselves. And we also receive feedback from the sheriff's office. The setting the speed limits, as we conveyed to you in a briefing here a couple of weeks ago, is it's not a simple process. It's not as simple as going and taking a 50-mile-per-hour sign and putting a 35-mile-per-hour speed limit on it. There's very firm sideboards, and those sideboards include federal, state, and local requirements that have to be followed when setting speed limits. I'm going to turn it over to Becky to do the presentation. Becky, I'm going to ask in the interest of time that you skip straight to the specific speed limit revisions.
Sounds good. Hi, Commissioners. Good afternoon. I'm Becky Kahn with Public Works in the Traffic Department, and I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, so I'm going to go down. So I'm going to start with the first speed limit revision that we are proposing today, and that's on 56th Avenue Northeast from Puget Beach Road to Hill Street Northeast. We're proposing to go from an unposted 50 mile per hour to a 40 mile per hour speed limit. This road sees 964 vehicles per day. The 85th percentile speed or prevailing speed out there right now is 48 miles per hour. And the 10 mile per hour pace speed is 37 to 47 miles per hour. So this roadway is becoming more urbanized due to the Jubilee subdivision that is coming into the east. And so it's seeing a lot more traffic and a lot more urbanized traffic and pedestrians. We have received 12 comments on this roadway. 10 of them were in favor, 1 was not in favor, and 1 was an other, so neither. That brings us to 153rd Avenue Southeast from Vale Road Southeast to Lawrence Lake Road Southeast. We're proposing to go from a posted 50 miles per hour to 45 miles per hour. This roadway sees 4,638 vehicles per day. The prevailing speed is 55 miles per hour, and the 10 mile per hour pace speed is 44 miles per hour to 54 miles per hour. This is a narrow roadway with a lack of shoulders. There are a lot of driveways, and it's becoming a little bit more urban. More developments are coming in, seeing more pedestrians along the roadway as well. This was brought to our attention by the local fire district, and they would like to see the speed lower, but due to the regulations that we follow, we can only go down to 45 miles per hour at this time. We plan in the future, so maybe next year, to go back again and see if we can get the speed a little bit lower, and then therefore lower the speed limit lower than 45. We've received 5 comments on this roadway. 2 are in favor and 3 are not in favor. That brings me to 216th Avenue Southwest. This roadway goes from Old Highway 99, or this stretch goes from Old Highway 99 to Hobson Road Southwest. We would go from an unposted 50 to 35 miles per hour. This roadway sees 255 vehicles per day. The 85th percentile speed out there right now is 44, and the 10 mile per hour pace speed is 30 to 40. We have received 4 total comments on this one, 2 in favor and 2 not in favor. Munson Court Southwest. This goes from Munson Drive Southwest to a dead end. This would be an unposted 50 to 25. Sees 52 vehicles per day. The prevailing speed is 26. The 10 mile per hour pace speed is between 17 miles per hour and 27 miles per hour. This is a residential road that we have not received any comments on. And it leads me into Munson Drive Southwest, which would go from Cedar Flats Road Southwest to the dead end. Again, going from an unposted 50 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour. This roadway sees 192 vehicles per day. The prevailing speed is 35. The 10 mile per hour pace speed is 23 to 33 miles per hour. Again, this is a residential roadway. And we've received 3 comments. 2 were in favor and 1 was an other. So I'm either in favor or not in favor. The final roadway is Woodard Bay Northeast. Woodard Bay Road Northeast from Boston Harbor Road Northeast to Libby Road Northeast. We're proposing to go from an unposted 50 miles per hour to a 40 miles per hour. This roadway sees 1,588 vehicles per day. The prevailing speed is 48 miles per hour, and the 10 mile per hour pace speed is 37 miles per hour to 47 miles per hour. This roadway has some good curves in it that limit sight distance. There's a lot of driveways along this stretch of roadway and also sees a lot of pedestrian traffic. We have received 12 total comments on this roadway, 9 in favor, 2 not in favor, and 1 is an other. So that concludes the 6 roadways that we bring before you today. The next step would be for the commissioners, if they choose to adopt the revised Thurston County speed limit schedule by ordinance. And then the traffic group would go out and place the new speed limit signs. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Becky. I want to open this up for questions. If you have any questions of staff, we'll go to public comment and come back if you need to. Do you have any questions of staff on this?
My question would be, you are utilizing a formula laid out by both the state and the feds, is that right, as to how you determine what's appropriate when you're making changes, is that right?
Yes, sir. There, like I mentioned earlier, when setting speed limits, the sideboards are very well defined by federal, state, and local code.
Okay. Just wanted to make that clear to the viewing public. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was the question I was.
What was the answer? I didn't hear it.
Yes, that they're following guidelines from the feds, states, and local.
That's WASDOT and Traffic Safety Commission.
Well, fed, state, local.
Yeah.
So like when I'm reading, and I'm just reading this quickly, when I read from the fire commissioner, or Commissioner Slater, one of the fire commissioners said they think this is a waste of time. It's because they wanted it to be even lower than what we're proposing, but because of the process, you can only go in certain increments.
That's correct.
And and Becky said you'll go back next year and maybe see if it can be ratcheted it down.
That's the idea. Is we're going to work with law enforcement to enforce the speed limit, and we'll do another study next year to see if we can reduce the speed limit any further. On that roadway, unfortunately, we've had numerous fatalities and serious injury collisions.
It's a ton of cars compared to the others. I mean, on that one, thousands and thousands of cars you said a day. What was it, 5,000 cars or something?
Yeah, and I can actually tell you that in the last, we did a speed study 4 years ago, and the traffic volume has doubled on that road.
Okay. So if this passes, theoretically, it could take you longer to get home. So we're going to open this up for public comment. County manager is going to the Zoom to see who is zoomed in. Again, when you're called on your name, please give your name and where you live in the county. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to be calling you by name based on the order that I see on the Zoom screen. When I call your name, please unmute yourself. You have 3 minutes. State your name, where you reside in the county, and it will alert you when your 3 minutes are up. First, I have Richard Escarsiga. Please unmute yourself. You have 3 minutes.
Yes, I am here. My name is Richard Escarsiga. I live on 219th Avenue Southwest, which is off of the 216th Avenue. I've resided here for over 50 years, and it's always been a county road, an improved county road at 50 miles an hour. There has been no significant changes in residents on that 216th Avenue. The only problems that have occurred there that while I've been here is dismantling of vehicles on the roadway, which I have called the sheriff's department for complaints to have it removed off of the roadway. Other than that, there has been no speeding going on that stretch of the highway or the roadway. And I was really wondering why anybody wants to change it from the way it was with no problems. And according to the speed study, I see that the average is 44. So that indicates nobody's speeding of the 50 miles an hour for an improved county road. So if for some reason it has to change, I would suggest 40 miles an hour, or I'd like to propose 40 miles an hour, or just leave it the way it is. And to start with, I don't know if county has enough manpower to patrol that. And since there's no problem, I don't see why it should be. That'll be all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next on the screen, I have Mr. Ken and Maureen Canny. If you'd like to provide a joint testimony or separate.
I'd say joint.
Okay,
So
please.
my name is Kent Canny. My wife is Maureen Canny. We live in the Nisqually Highlands area, which is off of 56th Avenue Northeast. That's the road we were concerned with. And since the extension was put in to go to Jubilee, we've had increased traffic down there, a lot of construction traffic going back and forth. And even before the extension was in there, in the summertime, when a lot of people are going down to Tommy, you get some excessive speeds down the highway. And with the construction, when they're going a little fast, it's pretty noisy in the neighborhood as well. So we definitely support the 40-mile-an-hour limit, if not going down slower, and really want the signs posted, because I think there was always a lot of question in people's mind what the speed limit was there, since you didn't have any speed limits signs posted.
Okay. And I'd just like to add that it goes from Marvin at 50, ours would be 40, and then going to Jubilee, they get down to 25. So within about a mile, you'd have this crazy decrease. And so we'd like it to all be, lower than 40, but at least down to 40 for us. We also have pedestrians. We have pets that walk out there, or, pets and their people. And we've had teenagers doing street racing, and they curve around the corner on Hill Road. And the neighbors that live right there are driveways that face that road. And the people that live right there say it's very noisy and disturbing. The highest speed was 89 on the speed study, and that's too high.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Next on the screen, I have Dan Wellhaber. I apologize for the last name. You'd like to provide public testimony this afternoon. Mr. Dan Wellhaber. Moving on, I have Colin Peeps. I apologize for the last name. Sorry.
That is fine. Hey, thanks for hearing me. I have comments on the Woodard Bay speed limit change. I had a great conversation with Matt last week, and I think he'll.
Please state your name for the record and where you reside in the county.
My name is Colin Peoples, and I live on 6246 Libby Road, which is right where the Woodard Bay intersection.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so I had a great talk with Matt, and I think he'll back up these facts. So, an unmarked, well, I think really it's about voter education. I work for the PDC, so I'm doing that a lot. But I think it's more about driver education. That is an unmarked county road. And I bet if you took a poll, 25% of the people would know that 50 miles an hour is an unmarked county road speed limit in Thurston County. There's been one accident in 10 years, Matt said, but basically zero accidents at all on that stretch. It's been 50 forever. Since there's been speed limits. Matt said that if 85% of the people would have gone 50, there would be no speed limit change. He said if the 85th percentile speed, the speed at or below which 85% of all vehicles are traveling at was 50 miles per hour, then the speed would not be reduced. So I think, I know I've told a lot of people that it's 50. They say, no, it's not. And I tell them it's county road. Unmarked county road is 50. I suggest we put a 50 mile per hour road sign up there, come back in a year after the drivers have driven it for a year with 50, redo the speed study. And if it's 50 miles an hour to what Matt said, then let's leave it at 50. And if it's at 44 or whatever it was before, let's take it back to 40. I think that's a kind of a common sense approach to stretch a road that really has had zero accidents, zero problems. I would just suggest that. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that's about it. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir. I don't have anybody else on Zoom, so let me check the conference call. Good afternoon. Those who has joined us on a conference call this afternoon and would like to provide public testimony related to the proposed speed limit revisions on some county roadways. Please unmute yourself, state your name, where you reside in the county. You have 3 minutes. None, sir.
All right, then I'm gonna open this up for questions of staff. I've got a couple I would imagine my seatmates do. Commissioner Menzer?
Okay, let me start with Woodard Bay, what we just heard about. Did I understand Mr. Peebles to say that it's, okay, I'm posted 50 and he's saying that if, so I guess my missing piece of information is what is the study, what is the information about how people are driving there? They're driving faster than 50 and he's arguing that if people knew it was 50 and stuck to 50, it would be within, it'd be pretty safe. Is that what he was
They are
saying?
driving lower than 50. They're driving lower than 50.
Mr. Peoples, this is for staff only,
Yes,
sir.
for staff.
Thank you.
I'll let Matt respond to what his understanding of that comment was, because I didn't quite get it.
Yeah, and I talked to Colin for quite a while. We had a great discussion. So if the 85th percentile speed limit out there, meaning 85% of the traffic was traveling 50 miles per hour or less, then we would have recommended a speed limit of 50 miles per hour. However, the speed study that we did out there, Becky, correct me if I'm wrong, off the top of my head, was 44 miles per hour. And that's why we're recommending a 40 mile per hour speed limit.
Oh,
So you're saying that the data shows that 85% of the cars are going 44 or less?
Correct.
Huh.
So,
But
I'm not just, okay.
What Mr. Peoples is saying is that people probably aren't traveling 50 miles per hour because they don't know they can travel 50 miles per hour. My argument to that is people are going to drive whatever speed they feel safe and comfortable at. And so 50 miles, my argument would be that 50 miles per hour, people out there aren't comfortable driving 50 miles per hour.
And this one, some of these ones say where it came from, like who complained. This one doesn't say that. Like, where did this come from? Who's trying to solve what problem?
This is a citizen complaint. And we received more support for this one than any of the other ones, I believe, right, Becky?
Yeah, that's correct. All of the, just for your information, all of the ones brought forward today were from citizens.
Complaining about people driving too fast.
Correct.
Yeah.
But this one on Woodard Bay, just what prompted this was the study was just a one citizen complaint?
Yes, so when we get speed requests, and it doesn't matter if it's from the sheriff's office, from a concerned citizen, or from the Board of County Commissioner's office, we'll always follow up with a speed study.
Okay, thank you. You still have the floor. Are you done? Okay, Commissioner Edwards?
I guess I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. We don't look like we have any speeders out there, but there was one person complaining there was, but the test showed that there's not. Is that correct? Out of 1,588 vehicles a day, mostly they were going 48, it looks like, under the speed limit. Did you?
Under the speed limit. So what do
you have, a knucklehead every once in a while goes by at 53 or what? What's the problem out there?
Unfortunately, there's a few knuckleheads out there. But what that study is saying is that people don't feel comfortable driving 50 miles per hour. So we're actually setting the speed, we would be setting the speed limit higher than the safe speed that people feel is comfortable.
Matt, is it true that, is it accurate there are 0 collisions out in that area in the last year or so, couple years?
I believe there was one, and I think it was just a personal injury collision.
It wasn't fatal.
No, it was not a fatality.
Okay.
That was a 10-year-old, I think, driving out of the driveway.
Probably. May I ask another question on 216th Ave Southwest? My first question, of course, what prompted that request? But I was already told, Becky mentioned that any complaint. How many people called in on that one? as an issue? Do you know?
Just one, I believe.
Just one? And is there collision data to support a reduction from 50 to 35?
There is not. I will say this, that the only speed limit revision that has a significant collision history is 153rd.
Well, which one?
153rd.
53rd?
Unfortunately, we've had multiple fatalities and serious injury collisions out there.
And what will it cost the county to put up signs and paint roadway or whatever you need to do with speed signs?
On a lot of these roads, the roads that already have posted speed limits, it's just swapping the sign out, which has very little cost. The roads that are currently in unposted 50, we'll have to dig the signposts in. We're not looking at a huge installation cost to do that, and the maintenance work will be incorporated into our maintenance program, and we maintain 16,000 signs a year, so a couple more signs isn't going to hurt us.
On 56 out there by Jubilee, is that the one out by Jubilee?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jubilee 56. And my wife and I used to travel that extensively for a number of years before the roundabouts and even after subsequent to the roundabouts and such, and the growth out there. And it was my opinion anyway, even as a former law enforcement and traffic investigator, that people were going too fast. And I understand what the young lady said in testimony about going from a 50 down to a 40 and then down to a 25 within a mile is kind of spooky. But the other public testimony, I don't understand what, again, like my seatmates are saying, what kind of problem we're trying to solve.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What kind of problem are we trying to solve?
That's kind of more of a rhetorical question. What are we trying to solve, especially with the 83% tile are going 43 miles per hour or less, or fewer miles per hour. I don't understand. Yes, I'm just in a kind of a quandary based on one or two complaints, not a lot of data to support for traffic safety reasons.
Could I have a question?
Yes, please. Sir, yeah.
So can we X out a couple of these ones that don't make any sense and take an action on some that do?
So let me frame the question. You don't have to take an action today. So you can reschedule for a follow-up.
Okay, maybe we can.
Additional information.
Let's not prolong the
you
pain.
can weigh in all the different public testimony that you received today and then make adjustments because you do have the latitude to eliminate some based on the public testimony or not.
Can we change the speed and pick a middle speed?
That might be probably a good conversation to have with staff.
I mean, is that in our latitude?
Perhaps not because it's formulated as you heard.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean going outside the range, but if it's like 50 to 40 and we go 45.
You could, the only thing you don't want to come across that you acting arbitrarily on this. So if there's some data related to this, I believe based on what I'm hearing, the staff needs to come back to you with additional data for you to have a more informed decision-making process. So you do have an option here to enact on this ordinance. I recommend not to, just to consider closing the public hearing, and then we'll come back with the staff with additional information.
Yeah, I would like to hear more from staff, maybe at a later date when we've got time, because I don't want to do something that lacks any common sense, and where we're going here, it looks like it's lacking some common sense because I don't see a problem on some.
Perhaps it's a reason of giving you additional information to give you the thought process of how they have concluded to this.
Okay.
Again, going back to Commissioner Menser's question about surgically carving out a piece, because I feel for the folks out there at Jubilee, because of the increase not only in traffic, but increased pedestrian and pets and such. But is this, we can't just take one out and say, yes, we have to put it off and discuss it more and then come up with what the board will come up with then.
Today, you could probably take an action on a couple if you like, and then delay the other ones for later. But,
Okay, I'm good with that.
Are you good with that?
56th?
What's that?
56th.
I think for sure. I don't know what other ones.
And
I'll make a motion to approve that one.
what about 153?
Vale?
It's only a 5-mile-an-hour reduction, but at least it's a step in the right direction that it sounds like people are wanting to go. But the others, I just
Yeah.
kind of wonder about those other ones.
I do too.
So what I'm hearing is you would like to provide, consider taking action on the proposed 56th Avenue Northeast and 153rd?
Yeah,
Is that the consensus of?
I think that's right. Look at
The Vale Road out there?
Oh,
153rd and 56th.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I would do those two.
Look at that, we're unanimous.
Yay.
And we'll come back with additional information. It's not like you're not taking no action on the other ones. You just need additional information on the rest?
Correct.
Okay. So just to clarify, you may consider taking a motion on 56 and 153rd and for 216th Avenue Southwest, Munson Court Southwest, and Munson Drive Southwest, as well as Woodard Bay Road East. Staff will come back with additional information based on the public testimony you have received.
So two things. Does staff have any questions of the county manager or commission?
No, all we're trying to do is set the appropriate speed limit on the roadway. Can I ask what is the best venue to return to provide more information, a board briefing or?
Yeah, I'll work with you, Matt. We'll schedule a follow-up briefing next year.
Okay.
So, and I want the public to understand that the rules are, we're going to close the public hearing, and then we will, there perhaps will be a motion on what we're going to do.
You haven't closed the public hearing yet, and I see another citizen that perhaps would like to.
Oh, another one.
I see that Ms. Jana Peters has joined us. Would like to provide testimony this afternoon.
Thank you. Sorry I'm late. I had a meeting that started about the same time this one was originally
Go
supposed to
ahead,
start.
ma'am.
We waited for you.
You reside in the county. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I do live off Hill Street, just off 56th. And when I moved here, the Jubilee extension was not there. And since that's been added, it is now a race course for teenagers. We had one recently. They speed up to drift the corner to Hill Street. And he hit the ditch, went through the ditch for about 20 to 30 feet and came back out. A lot of people from Jubilee to Silverhawk to Nisqually Highlands walk on Hill Street on 56th. And there's just a blatant disregard for the speed limit. I also talked to a neighbor across the street who stated that the extension of 56 was going to be 40 to the Jubilee entrance, and that it was reduced to 25 when he noted he was having a back driveway installed off of 56th. And I do know we have residential on 56th from Marvin to Hill. So I just know that there's a lot of people there. I don't want to see a drastic reduction. I do appreciate the 40. But there are racers, and right now we've got a lot of construction trucks going really fast
Thank you,
on
ma'am.
that street. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, is there a motion to close?
I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to close the public hearing. Discussion on that motion?
No, sir.
Nope. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing is closed. And now what is the pleasure of the board?
I move to approve the ordinance amending the speed limits on all or portions of 56th Avenue Northeast and 153rd Avenue Southeast, and include these roads and designated speed limits in the Thurston County speed limit schedule.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Well, let me ask you, any further discussion on that motion?
No, sir.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion is carried. And now we're ending this Zoom and going into another Zoom.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks, very much for hanging out with us tonight. Good afternoon and welcome to the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners public hearing for Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. It is 5:07 in the evening. And this topic is, this public hearing is Telecommunications Franchise Agreement with Cingular, AT&T. If you'd like to join in, either listen and or make comment, the phone number is 360-252-9020 and your PIN is 1234. I'm John Hutchings, the chair of the board. Also present is Vice Chair Commissioner Ty Menser and Commissioner Gary Edwards. And we have our County Manager, Ramiro Chavez, Assistant County Manager, Robin Campbell, and Clerk of the Board, Amy Davis. We also have staff that will be reporting to us and giving us information. The purpose of this public hearing is to accept and consider testimony on the proposed telecommunications franchise agreement with Cingular AT&T. This is a virtual public hearing. Those wishing to testify have joined by Zoom, emailed comment, or mailed comment. If you wish to testify, please visit the Thurston County homepage online and select Announcements of Public Hearings on the left-hand side. The information to join this public hearing remotely has been posted there. If you don't wish to testify, but would like to listen and follow along, please watch the live stream through the Thurston County YouTube channel to help us manage our attendance. Staff, Patty Rosetto, a senior management analyst, will provide information on this topic. Assuming we have people that would like to testify, your name will be read aloud. You will have 3 minutes to testify. Time may not be donated to another person, and Amy Davis, the clerk of the board, will be controlling the timer. We'll notify you when your time has expired. So when you are called on, please state your name and address for the record. This public hearing is now open. Patty Rosetto will now present background information of the proposal, written comments that have been submitted, and any additional information requested by the board. Patty.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Patty Rosetto from the Commissioner's Office. On November 24th, 2020, the Board of Commissioners took action to set a public hearing for this date to hear public comment on new Cingular Wireless, AT&T's franchise application. RCW 36.55.040 requires that a public hearing be held on franchise applications. Cingular, AT&T, has applied for a non-exclusive franchise to construct, operate, maintain fiber optic telecommunication lines and system facilities within Thurston County right-of-ways for purposes of offering and providing telecommunications services. Hearing notices were posted in 3 public places in the county seat and published twice in the official county newspaper. If upon review of the application and after the hearing, the board deems it in the public interest to grant the application, the board may grant the application and direct staff to commence negotiations on a franchise agreement with Cingular AT&T. To date, we have not received any public comments. I believe Greg Bush is here from the Wireless Policy Group and that he might have a few comments. Other than that, I have no additional information. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Do you want to see if, let's do comment?
You ready for?
Yes, I'm ready for public comment. Public comment now is imminent.
Okay, thank you. I see that Mr. Gregory Bush is on the Zoom. We'd like to provide public testimony this afternoon, sir. Please state your name, where you reside in the county. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. My name is Gregory Bush. I'm with Wireless Policy Group here on behalf of AT&T, and Wireless Policy Group's offices are in Issaquah, Washington. I'd like to confirm that my microphone is indeed working.
Yes, indeed. Go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you. I'd like to thank the Board of County Commissioners for this chance to comment. As I'm sure you're well aware, the importance of wireless technology to Thurston County is growing increasingly by the day. Households, businesses, and emergency responders are increasingly reliant on wireless networks to communicate and access necessary services. Since 2007, AT&T has seen data usage on its network increase by more than 580,000%. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's National Health Interview Survey, well over half of Washington state homes no longer use traditional landline telephone service and instead choose to be wireless only. Nationwide, 4 in 5 adults aged 25 to 29 and aged 30 through 34 are wireless only adults and have no landline. In addition, Wireless communications are a critical tool for first responders in emergency situations. In many areas, 80% or more of 911 calls come from wireless phones. So in conclusion, I'd like to ask that AT&T be allowed to renew its existing franchise to continue to provide wireless services to Thurston County. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. For those members of the public who have joined us via conference call this evening now, if you would like to provide public testimony related to this public hearing on a franchise application by Cingular AT&T, please unmute yourself, state your name, where you reside in the county. You have 3 minutes. None, sir.
None, okay. Public comment is now closed. Do you have any questions of staff or comments?
No, I don't. No, I'm ready.
No?
Move to close public hearing.
Yeah, I'm going to close that now. So there's no discussion. Is there a motion to close?
I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to close public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. This public hearing is closed. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve the franchise application from Cingular AT&T and direct staff to negotiate a franchise agreement.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the franchise agreement application from Cingular AT&T and direct staff to negotiate a franchise agreement. Any discussion on that motion?
No, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries.
Thank
Thank you, and thanks for joining us,
Very
Grace.
patient. Running late.
Thank you.